My thanks to both of you for joining me this morning. Robbie, you know, this case is really important. I know that you've been representing a lot of different parties with headlines that have been in the news, but this case I thought really needed to be discussed because the lawsuit that Elon Musk brought against the Center for Countering Digital Hate, Imran's company, was thrown out earlier this week with federal judge Charles Breyer clearly writing in his ruling, quote, "This case is unabashedly and vociferously about punishing the defendants for their speech." Quickly explain to our viewers why Elon was targeting the Center for Countering Digital Hate.
So thank you for having me on, Katie. And this is obvious, should be obvious to anyone. Elon does not like it when people criticize him. And he really doesn't like it when a group as effective as our client, run by Imran, who's here with me today, criticize him for the hate, the vitriol, the misinformation, the sheer vile content on Twitter, which he unleashed, really, when he took over the platform. And so they have their duty, their job is to write reports about the disinformation and the hate they're seeing online. And they wrote several about Twitter, and Elon didn't like it. So first he threatened us by letter. We said, bring it on. Then he brought a lawsuit, and we won that lawsuit.
Imran, your nonprofit organization called the Center for Countering Digital Hate. I just want to run through a little bit of the numbers here because I think it's really important for the viewers to understand the context here. According to your group's research, average engagements on hateful content jumped 49.5% after Elon took over. Your researchers also found that using a sample of 300 hate speech posts, of those 86% were left up even after being reported, and that X fails to act on 99% of the hate posts if the user is subscribed to X Premium. I mean, Imran, it sounds like X, Elon Musk, is making money off of hate accounts on his social media platform.
Well, he is, and that was his plan. I mean, when he took over the platform, he put up the bat signal, did he not, to hate actors, to bigots, to racists, saying this is now a free space, an open space for that kind of abuse. Another piece of research that we did found that in the week after he took over the platform, there was an explosion in the use of hateful terms on his site. There was a tripling on a daily basis in the use of the most offensive term you can use against African Americans, a tripling as a result of his policies and the signal that he sent to them. All we do in one respect is hold up a mirror to platforms. We study them using open techniques, we detail the methodologies, and then we ask people to consider, do you like what you see in that mirror? Now, most people go, crumbs, I don't like what I see in the mirror, I'll have a shave, I'll have a haircut. He sues the mirror. And as it happens, the American justice system doesn't see that as a actionable claim.
Robbie, Elon Musk is becoming well known for his use of SLAPP, strategic lawsuits against public participation lawsuits, which are essentially intimidation lawsuits meant to silence critics like Imran. How dangerous are these type of litigation tactics?
They're extremely dangerous because the whole point of bringing the lawsuit in the first place, I don't think Elon ever thought he was going to win this lawsuit. It wasn't about winning. It was about intimidating both our client, Imran, and others from ever criticizing him again. And that's exactly why we have these laws to counter these kind of lawsuits. And fortunately, as Imran said, the system worked. Judge Breyer saw through all of it and said, this is a SLAPP lawsuit. I'm slapping it down. I'm dismissing it. And he's going to have to pay all of Imran's costs and fees.
And Imran, because of what is going on here, I mean, your company or your nonprofit, excuse me, it really focuses on what you just talked about, evidence, facts. It just pretty much tracks what is going on in terms of reality. Do you feel like you obviously have counsel, excellent counsel with Robbie Kaplan, but do you feel like it has a huge chilling effect on other nonprofits or other organizations that are similar to yours that are just trying to make sure that consumers are aware of the amount of hate speech and hate content that is currently existing on social media platforms?
So let me be clear. The organization that I run not only looks at hate speech, we look at stuff like eating disorder and self-harm content on social media platforms, which is vital for American parents to understand. We look at a number of different types of disinformation that can really impact human health, human well-being, or our prosperity. And I think it's really important that this kind of work is done. Look, that's how discourse, that's how free speech works. We have our opinions based on the facts that we eke out painstakingly. And look, if we'd made a mistake, he could have sued us for defamation. It's telling that he did not. He couldn't find a mistake in our work. Instead, he sued us for the act of doing research. Now, lots of organizations did find that speech chilled. And that's why it was vital that we stood up in the face of a bully and said, sorry, pal, we have the fundamental right to research your platform, to communicate about it. And if advertisers, as they did, as he claimed in his lawsuit, he lost tens of millions of dollars of advertising as a result of our research, that's their right and decision too. So yes, it did have a chilling effect on the sector, but I can tell you we've put out research studies on X since we've been sued, and we're putting one out shortly. We will not be cowed by a bully.
And Robbie, very quickly, I kind of want to ask you and follow up on what Imran just said about Judge Breyer even saying to Elon Musk, you could have sued for defamation and you didn't. Why is that kind of nuance so important, Robbie?
Because, look, we have a system in our country and a culture that protects freedom of speech. And people are supposed to be allowed in the United States to criticize each other online, publicly, about what people are saying. And the only kind of speech that's actionable under the law is certain kinds of speech that would immediately cause a riot or something like that, or violence, or speech that's untrue. Elon couldn't allege either of those things here. And the law, including California's anti-SLAPP law, protects people like Elon and CCDH who exercise legitimate criticism of others' interest. That is in the public interest that such criticism is out there, and that's why we won the lawsuit. And it's so important that we keep upholding these principles in the face of bullies like Elon and so many others.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.